question
embarrassed by removing. Just don't send. I think I do pretty well at that. So they it was one more interview, and then they put me through, and the rest is history. They put me on Big Brother. They told me all along, they were like, we're really concerned that you're not going to be the villain, because you don't seem like the villain. And I was like, on the show, I will be your villain. I was like, I will get into it. And it took me, even on All Stars, it took me a while to get into the role. But once you get comfortable with it, you go with it. So anyway, if you're going to apply for the show, what you have to do, you have to give them an angle. You have to give them a niche. And if you go on and you say, look, I'm your average person, and I'm fun and I'm nice, they get a lot of that tape. What they want is the mean people. That's what they need.
Dr. Will, every morning when we first started promoting that you were going to come to town, we ran this promo saying Dr. Will Kirby's going to be here. We got a phone call one morning from this lady, Janet. What did you ask us in the Big 8 Morning Zoo?
I said, is it for real that you're coming here with, WAPE?
And then we said yes, and you said,
oh, sweet mother of God.
Well, why is that? Don't I seem like it?
Well, number one, you have the best smile in the whole world.
You guys are very sweet.
Oh, I know that. Number two, I have a question.
Okay.
In the yard, the camera.
Okay. You get really bored in the Big Brother house. And I did not. I mean, I did that at the time. I thought nothing of it. It was kind of just to entertain Mike Boogie. I didn't think anything of it. And if you talk to the camera, if you watch the live feeds, if you talk to the camera, they cut it. They cut the footage. So I didn't think that was making it on. And it was such a small thing. I never even thought about it. And as soon as the show was over, I was with Julie Chen, and she came up and she said, my two nephews are big fans. We take a picture with them. And I'm like, sure. There's these two little kids. And I was like, hey, what's your favorite part of the show? And the little kid looks up and he goes, when you made love to the camera. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about, you little freak? Like, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And that was like the first second I had been off the show. And then since then, people have just asked me over and over and over about that. So I guess it was memorable. I don't know. It was such a small thing. I didn't think it was a big deal at the time. But I guess they edited it pretty well.
I have a question over here to your right.
Okay.
Will, on Big Brother All-Stars, what was the slop really?
Everyone wants to know that. The slop, you guys know what porridge is? I didn't know what porridge was. It's like really bad oatmeal. It's like really bad, dry oatmeal. But the problem is, it expands in your stomach. And that's why, like, you eat a little bit of it and you feel really bloated and nasty and gaseous. And then Chicken George was on it all the time. Like, I was on it for a week and I just didn't eat a lot of it. So I lost weight, which was okay. But I mean, he was on it so long, it's really all he could eat. And it just makes you nauseous and stanky.
And how's Jace?
Jace is great. Jace is really cool. Jace is one of the few people on the show that I really wished had stayed longer. I really liked him. That guy was funny as hell, and he was really cool, and he got a raw deal, and it wasn't my fault. No, and he got a raw deal, and I think, if they did that show 100 times, I think Jace would win a lot of those times. I mean, he was a really talented guy. He had a good shot.
We have another question over here to your left. Dr. Will, right here.
Hi, Will. Did you hope to use the same strategy you did in Big Brother 2 to win Big Brother 7?
Yeah, I wanted to bring the same thing. Anyone who's mad at me from Big Brother 7, any of the contestants who are annoyed by the way that I played the game, that's their own fault. All they had to do was watch Big Brother 2. It was the exact same shtick. Try to make alliances and break them as you needed to, and make it convenient for yourself.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say that I haven't watched Big Brother since Big Brother 3.
Okay.
But then once I watched All Stars and saw that you and Boogie were going to be on there, it was great. I really enjoyed it a lot. Now, have you watched the show yet?
I've watched some clips. I have not watched the whole show. I actually just got it. CBS. Okay, here we go. You give so much to CBS, and I try to give them a great show. And I understand they're my boss during that summer. And you give, and they take things so personally. Like they said that I broke more microphones than anyone in the history of the show, and I broke more things. And they were really mad at me. And I said, but I also, I gave you a good show, right? And so they gave me a check, and they kicked me out, and they won't return my calls. And I was like, can I please have the show on DVD so I can watch it? They won't return my calls, like emails, nothing. So a really nice fan sent me all the DVDs, and I just got them. But Boogie and I watched a couple episodes together, and we thought they were hilarious. We were like shocked how funny we thought.
Have you heard your theme music?
No.
You have theme music as you're walking, as you're strategizing.
Okay.
They did it for you first. It's like a, how can you describe it? It's like they
Oh,
know
really?
that
I'll have
you're
to check
going
it out.
after somebody to have a conversation.
That's
Also, but do you really have a stepsister? Your
that I know of.
Janelle conversation?
Oh, okay. No. People, you guys get way into this. Wow.
I thought they had a clip on a website, and I was like, what is this? And I watched it, and I was like, whoa.
I don't even know where to go with that question. I don't even know. There was a point in the show where Janelle and I were flirting a lot, and it was implied that we were related and having cover your. She had a fantasy conversation. It was a fun summer.
Okay, right back over here on to your left here. We got a really weird request. This is
Okay.
Kevin.
Could you do the phone call joke that you did on Big Brother 7?
With you? Okay. You want to call me or you want me to call you? You call me.
You call me.
Okay. Got a CBS producer over here. Okay. Ring.
Yep.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
Are we? Oh, sorry. I wasn't. Kevin's annoyed. Are we in the middle of a conference center and I'm making a phone call to a 6-year-old?
7.
That worked out perfectly.
Who won Big Brother 7?
Who won Big Brother 7? Mike Boogie won it.
Did you?
It was me. I won it.
Did you win anything?
I did okay.
Goodbye. And the subject.
Speaking of which, I have a question, just kind of as a fan of the show. When you guys are in the house, like week by week, is there money you're making each week, or do you make nothing if you get kicked off?
For the first, it's different season to season, and this season, they came to us and they said, okay, we're going to pay you this small amount of money, and I said, I'm out of here, and I'm not doing the show, and you guys have insulted me. That's ridiculous. So they said, okay, we'll raise the stipend, and what it was is, just for the casting special, all 20 people in the casting special got $5,000 for that, which is great because you didn't have to do anything. And then once you made it on the show, you got $2,500 a week. But then if you made it to sequester, you got a flat rate of $25,000.
I think a lot of people are curious about that because how can you give up your job for 3 months with making nothing? That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it really is. People always want to know, they always want to know what money's involved. And the weird thing is, a lot of people were just happy to be there for that money because that is great money for a week. But you have to remember, Marcellus got the exact same amount of money as someone who made it 3 or 4 or 5 weeks after him because he was the first one to sequester. But he didn't make that much more money than like Kaser as an example. But Allison made just, I guess, the $2,500.
Allison. You have a question over there, Burger?
I have a question. Why did you decide not to ride the Legion of Doom longer?
I just didn't trust James and Danielle. I had a gut feeling that they were untrustworthy. I felt that they were going to stab us in the back eventually. I knew Danielle was a great strategist. I felt like she had it in for me personally because she would tell me stories about her audition tape was, she sent her tape to CBS and it said, if you thought Dr. Will was evil, wait till you see what I'm going to do. And when she said that, it kind of planted a seed in my head. And I said to myself, she's going to eventually want to make a name for herself and come after me and say that she kicked me out. So I knew I had to get rid of her, and I knew that James was very athletic, and I knew if it came down to Boogie and myself and Danielle and James in the Final Four, I knew we were going to have a big problem. So I actually wanted the Final Four to be Mike, Boogie, myself, Janelle, and Chicken George. But the Legion of Doom was a great idea. We wrote it as long as we could, but when Hatchet had to fall, it had to fall. And I felt bad because I really liked both of them, and I consider them my friends, but I just didn't trust them.
When you walked out of the door, Will, did you feel like with Mike Boogie being left with those 2 scorned women, there was no way he was going to make it to the final 2?
I thought, the truth is, Erica swears that she would have taken Janelle to the final 2. I just don't believe it to this day. She would have taken Mike Boogie on the hopes that she could have beat him because no one could have beaten Janelle in the jury. If Janelle was up against anyone, she would have won unanimously.
If it came down to those 2 girls, who would you have voted for?
I would have voted for Janelle.
Yeah.
Janelle played a superior game.
Okay, we have a question right here for you, man.